Good Saturday evening. Welcome to this week's Weekly Weather Briefing. It is March the 10th, 2018, and we do have some weather to talk about. Sunday, tomorrow, we have a system moving in, rain and possibly more snow to be moving into the area. Gusty winds are going to accompany this system, and we'll take a look at the precipitation totals to go along with it. Well below average temperatures are expected throughout most of this week, but we'll see exactly how long it will last and when will we see a return to spring and also another chance of rain for next weekend. Starting out with that system for tomorrow, many of us starting to just now hear about that chance for some snow that could come along with it. But first, we have to get through the rain, which will begin late tonight, around midnight to after midnight, and will last into Sunday evening off and on. It will not be a continuous rain, but rather a scattered and periodic rain. Now, falling temperatures will occur throughout the day on Sunday, especially in the afternoon hours, and this is going to allow for some of that rain to maybe change over to some snow. And if that were to happen, it would be Sunday evening into Sunday night, early Monday morning. Gusty winds will accompany this, the strongest of those winds occurring Sunday afternoon. And precipitation totals in the rain part will really range between 35 hundredths to maybe 65 hundredths of an inch, and snow should range from 0 to 2 inches. Low confidence, and oftentimes it is with any kind of snowy system, especially in March, though, because it oftentimes, if it's snowing in March, it's above freezing, and temperatures are marginal for snow, and it's hard to tell if it's going to either rain or if it's going to snow when temperatures are around 35, 36 degrees. So that is why I have low confidence in asterisks there beside the 2 inches, because really it's a hard forecast. When you have snow in March and really snow in general around here, it's often a very hard forecast. And this is one of those events where the models are just now beginning to come into agreement and they're just now starting to show this opportunity or this chance for snow. They were hinting at it a few days ago, but it was just one particular model, which I thought was an outlier. But now they're all starting to catch on to this idea. And it's beginning to look more likely that we will see a period of snow tomorrow as that precipitation comes to an end late Sunday night. The issue is how much falls. We have several factors going against that we'll talk about here in a minute that could help to prevent snow from actually accumulating, but we also have several factors that are for it. So we'll take a look at those here in just a minute. Just remember that going into this, there are going to be plenty of changes, and this is what we call a nowcast event. It's one of those forecasts that it will change as the system moves into the area and as it evolves. That forecast can change almost every hour, so make sure that you keep that in mind tomorrow. Don't look at the forecast now and never look at it again. Make sure that you're continuing to look at this leading up to the event and even during the event tomorrow. Sunday at 3 a.m., we're looking at rain beginning to move in, not continuous, periodic rain. Falling temperatures will begin Sunday at 7 a.m. I believe this model is a little bit too cold at this time frame. I think we will be sitting in possibly the middle to upper 40s, around 47, 48 degrees at this time frame. And then once we get towards Sunday around 9 p.m., we're looking at temperatures to be nosediving. This I do agree with, in the middle to upper half of the 30s by that time frame. Possible. I emphasize that word possible. Change over to some snow. Sunday at 6 p.m., notice we're beginning to see some pockets of snow in the area. This will not be a gradual rain to snow line. This is going to be different pockets of cold air are going to be the pockets of snow that we see first, and then eventually everyone will see all snow if this were to all go as planned as of right now. Monday at 5 a.m., you see all of this is beginning to shift off to the east. Where you see that green, usually there's not going to be any precipitation there. Sometimes the models show rain where there should be snow, and the snowfall accumulation maps don't account for this green back here. So I'm going to say really precipitation should be moving out of the area. At 5 a.m., it should be further east than where this model is showing it, and it should be moving out of the area from northwest to southeast. So Ballard County will be getting out of the snow before Callaway gets out of the snow, and this would be roughly around midnight to 2 to 3 a.m. in the morning on Monday. Gusty winds are going to be moving into the area along with this rain. Most of the gusty winds will occur during the rain sector of this, so this is a good thing. Usually with wet snow falling, you don't want gusty winds because it can cause some downed trees, even if you just have a little bit of snow. Sunday p.m., though, the afternoon hours, we're looking at gusty winds, possibly up to 40 miles per hour at times. I keep wanting to say possible, positive and negative snow accumulation factors. So basically, we have the air temperatures running above freezing, anywhere from 33 to 37 degrees, and this is not going to support a lot of accumulation, especially when temperatures are very warm on the ground temperatures are very warm, and the road temperatures are very warm. So not only is the air temperature above freezing, but our ground and our elevated surfaces, they're all above freezing right now. So this is helping to prevent snowfall accumulation. Now, as far as high moisture content goes, this is actually going to be a negative for this system because when you have wet snow and a warm surface, you're not going to want a high moisture content because it creates those wet snowflakes, and the wetter they are, the easier they are to melt when they hit the surface. Low CAPE values are going to be a factor to this as well, playing against the snowfall accumulation. CAPE is basically energy. We don't have a ton of energy here at the surface. However, well above our atmosphere, well above our heads rather, into the upper half of the atmosphere, we have a lot of CAPE. So a lot of energy is going to be available up to the topper parts of the atmosphere, and that's going to help form and help fuel this system. However, here at the surface, we don't see a lot of energy. Positive, what is helping to produce snowfall accumulation is going to be a nocturnal event. So a nocturnal means that it is at night. So a nighttime event is going to help add to the snowfall potential because when you have it during the daytime, especially during March, a very high sun angle at this time of the year helps to prevent snow accumulating, even though it might be cloudy outside. But if it's at night, you don't have the sun at all playing a role, so that is going to help add to snowfall accumulation. Strengthening low pressure at the surface, the 850 millibar level and the 700 millibar level. So the surface is as low as you get. 850 millibar is just a few thousand feet off of the atmospheric surface, and then 700 millibar level is well up above our heads into the atmosphere. All three of those levels have different areas of centralized low pressure, and so all three of these areas of low pressure are all going to track and strength as they track. They're going to be strengthening as they track into an area that is going to help support snowfall on the backside of those areas of low pressure. A high vorticity value is going to be being read tomorrow across the area, and this is going to help cause for high precipitation rates. And high precipitation rates, even though the temperatures might be above freezing, could put down a quick couple of inches, even though the ground and the air temperature is above freezing. Below average temperatures are going to be expected through Thursday. Morning lows, you can expect them to be in the middle 20s to lower 30s on average from morning to morning, and afternoon highs to be in the lower 40s to lower 50s. And we do finally see a return to spring, but it is going to take a little bit to get there. Notice above average temperatures covering much of the nation by Saturday. This will begin on Friday, however. These above average temperatures will, excluding Florida, Maine, and the north central plains and parts of the southwest, are going to be looking at below average temperatures. Besides that, much of the United States, or the lower 48, is looking at above average temperatures for the upcoming weekend. And as always, during the spring and late winter, when you have warmer temperatures, you usually get rain to come along with it. So by this time next weekend, we could be looking at rain chances once again Saturday and Sunday. It's starting to come a periodic weekend thing, excluding last weekend, but low confidence on it. This was a few days ago looking to be a strong, maybe even producing severe weather type system, but without a negative tilted trough, especially because this trough is due north instead of due west of our area, it's going to help prevent the risk of severe weather. So that's a good thing. Now, unless this changes dramatically, usually the position of the trough is not going to change from due north to due west in the matter of model runs from run to run. That's a pretty big change in the models. So right now, I don't think that we're looking at severe weather next weekend. However, the chance is still there. You don't have to have a negative tilted trough to produce severe weather. I do want to emphasize that. So don't think that we're not going to see severe weather because the trough is due north of our area. We do have the chance for severe weather, but it's not as great as it would be if we had that negatively tilted trough, which is a big factor in severe weather. So not going to try and go into a lot of detail with that, but just know that next weekend rain chances do come up once again, so be prepared for that. Here's a look at those 15-day temperatures. Our afternoon highs, our morning lows. Notice we're below freezing for morning lows a couple of mornings this week, and afternoon highs in the upper 30s to lower to middle 40s. Once we get towards the upcoming weekend, temperatures go well above the freezing mark for overnight lows and well up to around maybe close to 70, even going past 70 degrees for afternoon highs. And then we begin to level off maybe towards average for this time of the year going into the later part of the month. So as we look at those 7-day precipitation totals, notice we're looking at around a half inch or so to maybe up to an inch, depending on how early that system next weekend materializes. So spring will eventually come, but we do have to get through some snow possibly tomorrow and some cold temperatures.